Howdy. My name is Benjamin Nevadas. I am currently reviewing Long Term Athlete Development, a review of the benefits to strength and resistance training for sports management 2021 from East Tennessee State University. I have chosen to discuss the benefits of resistance training on athletic performance, both in the long term and the short term. For this paper, the focus is long-term athlete development. It is well understood that resistance training decreases neural inhibition, increases pennation angle, improves physical tolerance, and reduces the risk of injury to athletes. Strength training executed in a well-programmed manner by an educated strength coach or professional can increase the overall performance of the athlete as well as increase the longevity of said athlete. It has been shown in research that resistance training decreases the risk for injury, osteopenia, osteoporosis, and excuse me, and increases overall performance. The avenues in which this can be accomplished that are discussed in this paper are both through linear periodization and block periodization. These are only methods of attaining the benefits of strength and resistance training. First discussed is linear periodization. This is the process of preparing an athlete physically, technically, tactically, psychologically, and theoretically for the highest levels of performance. Linear periodization is a method used to execute training in a quite simple one. Exactly what it sounds like, it's linear in fashion, where week by week, an increased amount of tonnage or load is placed on an athlete in order to create adaptation. This program is great for both beginner and intermediate level athletes. And the reason for this is because there's not a vast amount of complexity needed for a beginner athlete or an intermediate athlete in order to create adaptation. The immediate benefits of the adaptation go towards the overall goal of said athlete. So a power athlete may be doing strength training at the beginning of a phase, beginning of their linear phase, in order to increase hypertrophy. This increased cross-sectional area will then benefit the athlete during their power phase so that they can create more tension, more power during their movement. So something to touch on now is the law of specificity. So the closer to a competition, the more likely the athlete will be quite specific in their exercise routine. So less accessory movements will be used and more specific movements. So a sprinter would stop power cleaning and maybe stick to sprinting. This increases the overall time that the athlete gets to spend training their sports without compromising performance. Law of specificity can be used to understand both block periodization and linear periodization. It is a concept that will be used consistently throughout the progression of an athlete's protocol. Block periodization is more varying and allows for extreme athletes to have a little bit better adaptations in the long run. So some physiological benefits that are well agreed upon I've already discussed, or decreases risk of injury. Resistance training has been found to decrease osteoporosis, sarcopenia, and low back pain. The physiological benefits can also include decreased insulin resistance, increased resting metabolic rate, glucose metabolism, decreased blood pressure, body fat, and GI transit time, which are all associated with diabetes and heart disease. The reason that I chose this topic was because resistance training, though there's an immediate gratification of looking good or performing better, as professionals, as coaches, we are able to create a change in an athlete that will last them a lifetime. And that is the reason that I have chosen this topic. My name is Benjamin Nevadas. Thank you for tuning in.